All right. So the relationship between the Corps of Cadets and the Naval ROTC. So the Naval ROTC falls under a larger naval command called NSTC, and that's the parent command for all of the 80 Naval ROTC units across the nation. And our focus is mainly on getting all of the students that come to Virginia Tech to commission. And we care about your academics, we care about your physical fitness, and then we care about the actual naval leadership aspects of your life. And we want to make sure that you're prepared to become a naval officer. The Corps of Cadets is part of Virginia Tech itself, and it's also part of the state of Virginia. And they work on your day-to-day training, so you'll wear Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets uniforms throughout the day, but at the end of the day, we're very separate, but we do work together. So the Naval ROTC, our CEO's vision statement, is that we're here to make the men and women who will sail our ships, drive our subs, fly our planes, and lead our Marines. And that's our mission. Our mission is to commission those unrestricted line officers. So our priorities. We look at academics first. So we want to make sure that you are on a pathway to get your degree, because without a degree, you won't become a naval officer. And you'll meet with your academic or your advisor, your naval advisor, and your academic advisor twice a semester. And we'll sit down to make sure that you're on an appropriate pathway to commission. Professional development wise, you'll get put into different leadership roles within each of your companies. You'll also get, on Tuesdays in the afternoon, we do a pro lab where we discuss general military training. And then we also discuss things that are going on with the Navy. We bring in speakers and everything to kind of give you a feel for what's going on in the Navy. Physical fitness, you'll get to do PT. If you're in the Navy option, you'll PT on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 a.m. If you're in the Marine option, you'll PT Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 in the morning. And then there are two physical fitness tests, one at the beginning of the semester as an inventory, PRT, and then one at the end of the semester, which is the official PRT. And that's the one that gets actually recorded as far as your physical fitness status. So a question often gets brought up is who actually commissions out of Naval ROTC? And it is a little restrictive. So we specifically look to commission unrestricted line naval officers. And what that means is that you would be in a position to command at sea or on shore as either a submarine officer, a naval aviator, a naval flight officer, a surface warfare officer, or an EOD or SEAL. The Marine Corps is a little different, as you commission into the Marine Corps and you don't actually select your pathway until after you've gone through OCS and TBS. So who don't we commission is the big question. Naval ROTC does not commission people into the JAG Corps, the Supply Corps, the Civil Engineering Corps, the intelligence community. We do not put anybody into staff positions. You don't become a doctor or a nurse or a chaplain out of here. So we are specific to the 5 specializations that are put out on this slide: subs, naval aviation, surface warfare, or special warfare. Okay. So there's a lot of numbers on this slide. What I really want to hammer home on this slide specifically is that in 2018, you can see there were 51 Navy and 13 Marine scholarships handed out. That cap was lifted last year. And in 2019, they handed out 76 Navy and 16 Marine option scholarships. That's a 43.8% increase. That means that Virginia Tech no longer has a cap to how many national scholars we can have at our institution. And it's just going to keep growing. So we actually commission more officers than any of the other ROTC programs. We are by size the second or third largest at the minute, but we commission more than anybody else. The other big takeaway on this is that we also commission more sub-officers than anybody else. You can see 2018, we were at 7 sub-officers. This last May, we were at 8 sub-officers. So we put on a lot. Same with SEAL and EOD. We actually commission more SEALs and EOD team members than anybody else as well. So, but we're growing fast, and we're a very big program. So the national scholarship on here that's talked about, the National 4-Year Scholarship, that's the scholarship that you should apply for when you're in high school, okay? It's the most flexible, and from my understanding, it's also the easiest one to pick up of the scholarships. So you would go through, you would put your application in before January. A scholarship coordinator would reach out to you. He'd make sure that you get all of your pre-scholarship requirements taken care of, and you would be submitted to a board, and they would review you and announce if you got the scholarship. And then you would hear from me. I would be the first person that would send you an email saying, hey, congratulations, you got the scholarship. Now, if you don't pick up the national scholarship, there are still options available to you. There are side load scholarships. So if you don't pick up the national scholarship, and then you come to Virginia Tech and you're in the Naval ROTC unit without a scholarship, I'm going to encourage you, if you are under 30 credit hours at Virginia Tech, to reapply for the national scholarship, because you're still eligible at that point. If you don't pick up the national scholarship the second time, at the end of your first year, I'm going to send out guidance on how to apply for side load scholarships. And the side load scholarships cover all of the same stuff as the national scholarship, which I'll cover in a minute. So the side load scholarships, they have all the same requirements. They cover all the same things. They are a bit more competitive. And so in order to actually maintain your scholarship, you need to have at least a 2.5 GPA. You need to be within the height and weight standards and the physical fitness standards, and you need to be doing what you're supposed to. So there are typically 2 types of side load scholarships that get put out. There's a 3-year side load scholarship, and last year there were 285 people that applied for this scholarship, and only 157 got selected. So just over half. The average GPA of those students was a 3.38, which at Virginia Tech is very hard to do that first year, especially if you're an engineering program and you're taking that calculus. But if you go into calculus and physics knowing that they're going to be hard classes, 3.38 is not an unreasonable expectation. 57% of the applicants were calculus complete, and 73% were in a Tier 1 or a Tier 2 major. So what does that mean? Tier 1 majors are your 8 core engineering degrees. Tier 2 majors are the remaining engineering degrees, plus life sciences, plus your data analytics, and your computer science sorts of majors, which are all listed out on the actual Naval ROTC website if you go look. All right, so if you don't pick up the 3-year side load scholarship, at the end of your sophomore year, I'm going to push you to start applying for a 2-year side load scholarship. And this last year was very unusual. Of the 170 people that applied across the nation, 150 of them were actually selected. So almost 90%. We picked up 13 of those. The average GPA of all the selectees was a 3.18. 43% were physics and calc complete, and 69% were in a Tier 1, Tier 2 major. So now if you get all the way to the end, and for whatever reason you do not pick up a sideload scholarship, there's one last option that's available to you, and that's called advanced standing. Now, advanced standing does not cover all of the same things that the sideload scholarships and the national scholarship pay for. But what it does do is it still gives you an opportunity to commission into the Navy. Of the 75 people that did not pick up a sideload scholarship and applied for advanced standing, 72% were selected, or 72 were selected, which is 96%. So more or less, if you're doing what you are supposed to and you would like to commission into the Navy, there is a pretty good chance that you can at least get it done through this. Average GPA was a 3.12. Only 8% were physics or calc complete, which for the advanced standing, the requirement for physics and calculus drops off. And to cover that, all of the scholarships require you to take 2 semesters of calculus and 2 semesters of physics with a calculus base in order to commission. 25% of the advanced standing people that were selected were in technical tier 1, tier 2 majors, meaning this is where a lot of that tier 3 major starts to come in. And to clarify, the tier 3 majors would be your business, communications, international relations, poli-sci, those sorts of degrees are tier 3 degrees. So program benefits. The scholarships, whether it's a sideload or a national scholarship, will cover your tuition, your fees, your books, and your uniforms. What isn't covered there is your room and board. Your room and board will still have to be paid for out of pocket. For people that are not on a scholarship, if you've been in the Corps of Cadets for 60 days, the Navy will still cover your uniforms. You are committed to the Navy once you actually sign the dotted line on your scholarship. So, and if for whatever reason you decide to walk away after you've hit that commitment period, you will have to pay back the tuition and the fees and the book allowances that have been given to you. I've discussed the math and physics requirement. We talked about ProLab on Tuesday afternoons. Every semester that you are in the Naval ROTC, you will be required to take a naval science course. If for some reason you do push over and you need either 4.5 or even 5 full years of school, your scholarship will cover that additional semester or that additional year of tuition. And then every summer, as long as you're on scholarship, you get to go on summer cruises. So the first year you typically go on Quartermid, which is 4 or 5 weeks, and you get to bounce around and see the different communities within the Navy. During that second year, third year, and your fourth year, you can go on more specific cruises. Like if you want to go and hang out with an aviation squadron, you're more than welcome to go and do that for a summer. If you want to take summer classes, it's a little bit of a gamble. Well, it's not a gamble, but it depending on the classes that you're taking, if it shortens the timeline of your graduation, the Navy may or may not cover it. So summer classes are kind of a case-by-case thing, and if you talk to your advisor, he can probably help you get through that. So big picture, you're going to be both in the Corps of Cadets and you're doing the Naval ROTC thing at the same time. You get the chance to go on summer cruises, and you get to interact with naval lieutenants and then our commander and our captain. Okay, here's my contact info.